Here's another quick tip from Whole Latte Love.
Good espresso is all about consistency, and an important part of that consistency is temperature.
So today we're going to talk about some habits to get into when you're first turning on your espresso machine.
Now, the length of time it's going to take for your machine to get up to temp is going to vary by machine model. So, for example, something like the Gaggia Classic is going to take about 10 to 15 minutes.
Right, and then on the other end, we've got something like this dual boiler prosumer machine. This is a Profitec Pro 700. 30 minutes, maybe even just a little bit longer until that one's ready to go.
Now, there's a ready indicator light that's going to let you know when your boiler's up to temp, but that doesn't necessarily mean that all components of your machine are up to temperature.
Right, so when that light comes on, you're not necessarily ready to brew because you've got a lot of other heavy metal components that need to heat up first. Otherwise, the water's just going to get cooled down when you go to brew.
So the portafilter is important, and you want to make sure that that's locked into the group head when you're turning your machine on and getting it up to temp.
Another very important thing that you want to do when you first turn on your machine is press the coffee button, run some water through it. That's going to make sure your boiler's full, especially true on single boiler machines. Not so much on the Gaggia Classic, but on a machine like a Rancilio Silvia, which has a very large boiler. If you were steaming the last time you used the machine, you didn't refill that boiler's going to be partially empty. It'll heat up real quick, but when you go to actually pull a shot, you're going to be dumping a lot of cold water into that boiler all at once. Putting cold water on a really hot boiler, bad things can happen.
Yeah, and just a few other tips that might seem like no-brainers, but they are good to mention. You want to make sure that you're using warm cups. So keep those cups on your cup warming surface if your machine has one, and always make sure that your water tank is full when you're starting up your machine.
So there you go, some good habits to get into when you first turn on your espresso machine. The #1 source for everything coffee, WholeLatteLove.com.